So, Whitley, thank you very much for being here with me and taking some time to tell your story and give me some more details about what's happened since you went through the workshop and the life-changing things that happened. So, just take it away. Start telling me what happened. I know you told me some of it already, but just tell me whatever you wanted me to know.
Yeah, so we came into the workshop and I had decent programs, but I had apparently not been selling them. Um, we had a program that was kind of our middle of the road program. It was 5 in-home obedience sessions, and that was our bread and butter. Everybody bought that one. And we had a program that was larger than that, that was priced a little bit more, that we just never offered. I only offered it if somebody had an aggressive dog or a really bad dog. And one of the things you told me in the workshop was that I was shooting myself in the foot and that we could make that work a lot better. And so with the workshop, we added a lifetime benefit to that program and started marketing it more heavily. It's now our most popular program. And with that change, we've increased our average sale per client from less than 2,000 to over 3,500.
Wow. Wow. Less than 2,000 to over 3,500. So it went up by like more than $1,500 per client.
Yes.
And so you're making more per client, which also means you're making more per month, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
this is our best year since opening the business. We started in 2017, and this year we're going to do over 500,000 in gross sales.
Awesome.
Our best year was 2019, and it was about 350. So even from our best year, we've almost doubled.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. And do you think that's mainly because of the increase per client and selling more of those big programs?
Absolutely. We go in and we offer the biggest program to everybody, especially puppies and super easy dogs. We've had one client get 2 extra sessions out of that lifetime benefit. So it's cost us literally nothing.
Yeah.
And made a lot more money. Our clients are happier because they feel like they do have us for life, and they do. We'll honor that, but very rarely is it used.
Yeah.
But it's a huge selling point just to have that in their pocket, that if they need us, we're here. And they don't have to buy a whole nother program. We can just come out and fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. What made you decide to do the workshop back then when you were starting? Because you were already making pretty good income for your business. With, considering that you don't have a huge amount of expenses or overhead or employees. It's not like you have like 50 people working for you. So things were going relatively well already. What made you decide to join the workshop?
I knew that we were doing decent, but I felt like we could do better. And I love the content that's on the free Facebook group. And so I thought that it would be a really good idea just to get a different take on marketing and a different idea. We're a franchise, and all of our marketing was done for us. We were basically given our programs written as is and told, go out and sell these. And they're good programs. And so we didn't need the program creation aspect as much as we needed the marketing help.
Right.
And so I joined the Thrive Tribe. We do the monthly videos now, and all of that makes a huge difference. All that kind of that influx of extra info every month and the different topics that we cover, all of it's been completely worthwhile.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear. I'm so happy for you. But, of course, like I always say, the credit goes back to you because you are an amazing implementer. Like you take stuff and you run with it and you apply it and you make a solid argument for why it should be done that way because I said so. So you've done amazing things with everything, with how fast you implemented stuff.
We did the workshop, and my first sale of that big program was 2 days after we finished. So the next day I had it up on our website and had it in motion, and we started selling it literally 2 days after the workshop. And so we went from an average of about 25 to 30,000 in sales per month to now our average is closer to 40. We've had some months well over 60. So
wow.
It's really positioned us to make so much more per client and offer them a higher level of service.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not just that you're just doing marketing so that you're attracting a ton more clients. It's not just that. It's about just making more from the people who are already coming in through the door and them being happier because they're getting a program that they like better.
Right.
That's
and
awesome.
We've had a lot of past clients decide to upgrade, that they've started with that smaller package and now they see the extra benefits in the larger one. And so we're getting some returning business, which is something we hadn't targeted or seen a lot before.
Yeah. That's amazing. So great. And you just told me a story yesterday or the day before about that client that you just got. So tell me what happened with that and what you previously would have done, what you would have made from that one client before you learned everything that you know now.
So we got called for a 5-dog package for a household of yappy little dogs that nobody can visit. And with the holidays coming up, they couldn't have guests over. because the dogs go nuts and they jump on everybody. Before, I probably would have walked in and said, this is a waste of time. There's no way this lady's going to sign up any yappy dogs. Mm-hmm. I've gotten a lot more confidence through the info that you've shared and through the workshop of putting it out there and selling it and just accepting that they're going to buy it and that's what it is. And so normally I probably would have went in and I would have maybe sold 2 and told her, let's pick the 2 problem kids. And then because we're training the owner, you can handle the rest on your own. This time I went in, I didn't offer to do any problem children. I said, here's your price. This is what it'll be for 5. She had a 6th dog that belongs to her daughter that she babysits. So I even quoted her for that 6th dog, and they're likely going to sign up once the daughter pays. But what normally would have been maybe a $3,000 sale was over $5,000 just in the program.
That's awesome. Yeah. So she picked the program that she wanted for all the dogs, and you basically, the thing that you changed was just basically not recommending based on what you thought she needed, but allowing her to pick based on what she wanted. And what she wanted was to have you help with all 5 dogs. So it's better for her and better for you.
Absolutely. And that was probably our weakest point before the workshop is I picked something and I told the client what they needed, and I sold myself short all the time. I never even offered our biggest package because you don't need that. You'll be happy with our middle of the road package.
Right.
And yes, they will. But I literally was telling people, you can't pay me that money because I don't want it. And that was dumb. I cannot believe I was running a business for 4 years doing that.
Yeah, that's so funny. And that is one of the things a lot of people say is like, I've been preventing people from paying more if they want to, just because I didn't think they needed to, but they're actually happier that way. And, then obviously you make more money, so you're happier too. Yeah. So tell me, is there any other impact that this has had on your life or your business? Have you had other goals that you've reached? Has it had like kind of a ripple effect on other parts of your life or anything like that you wanted to share?
Yeah, so we actually have doubled our staff this year. So we're up to 3 full-time trainers and a full-time admin. And we signed a lease on a facility that'll be opening any day now. And so we're going to offer an in-home, well, not an in-home, it'll be a daycare style training. Drop it off for the day, pick up a well-behaved dog. Yeah. We don't like the board and train style. I don't like having people's dogs at my house. Yeah. And I didn't want to do a boarding facility. So this kind of gives us the ability to offer a different service without having somebody's dog in my house.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm really looking forward to it. And with that level of service, it comes at a higher price point. So we're excited about offering a higher level of service at that increased price point.
Yeah, that's awesome. So in the last year, since I first met you virtually, you have made all those growth changes, made all those income increases. And during most of that time, how many employees did you have? And what kind of programs did you have? Because I think it's fascinating for a lot of people to realize that you did this and have this high income per client without doing a board and train program. So can you tell me that stuff?
Yeah. So when we did the workshop, I had 1 full-time trainer, and I had started the process of hiring a second trainer, but didn't have one on staff at that point. And so that workshop, I believe, was the first or second week of January. Mm-hmm. My second trainer came on in March, and we just hired a third trainer in November. We went from a part-time admin to a full-time admin. And the kind of cool thing is that even though we've grown, I've actually been able to step out of my business. And so now I get to work on my business more instead of in my business. Yeah. I primarily do evaluations, and I'll do a few appointments here and there, but we're so busy that my trainers are fully booked with appointments, and I'm out there getting us the sales and getting those contacts and plugging them into the system. So it's working really well. I've gotten to have more freedom of time because I can take off for a week and go hide in the mountains, and the business doesn't suffer.
That's amazing. I love that impact. Being able to take more time off is a big thing. Burning out is a really common thing for dog trainers. So that's great to hear. So that $3,500 per client average is coming from just private lesson programs up to this point, right?
Correct. We don't currently have a facility, so we don't have those facility programs going. This is all private and home training. Our middle of the road package is 5 in-home visits with 6 months of group class. Our now most popular package is 8 private lessons and lifetime group with lifetime follow-up as needed.
That's amazing.
And so that's now our most popular package.
Yeah. Yeah. So that program is the one that you increase the value of by changing around the structure of it a little bit, the pricing and how you sell it, how you talk to people. Those are the things you learned in the workshop that made you be able to sell that program, even though it's not a super huge, like ridiculously long board and train program or something like that, but still super high value.
Right. So we do that. That program is $28.95. We actually dropped the price at your recommendation to make not as big of a gap between the middle program and the high program. But we haven't had one person bat an eye at the price, even though it's $3,000 for private training. And we're actually increasing the price come the first of the year.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. That's so great. So yeah, what I think is so fascinating about your story is that you, like you said, you've gotten more freedom and more time away from the business, that you can go away and things like that. And the business still goes fine. And you don't have a ton of employees. Like a lot of times when trainers are making, $500,000 a year or, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, they have huge amounts of staff, like 20, 30 people. And they have a facility with like dogs boarding all the time. And all of that revenue is coming from like a whole bunch of different sources. And it's really complex. And that's what people are afraid of a lot of times. So I think it's really inspirational that you have just a couple of employees, or you had in the past few months after you did the workshop, just a couple of employees, one trainer at first, and the admin was part-time, and just grew from there, but we're able to increase your income and also still have more time off and not have to worry about just getting more and more and more and adding more services and adding bigger programs and adding boarding and adding a facility, that you just grow as you want to, instead of because you think you have to add more in order to make more. So I think that's amazing.
That's absolutely one of my favorite things about the way that we're structured is I can control the growth. And so if I don't want to hire somebody, I don't. And we just limit the number of clients we take on.
Yeah.
If we make enough per client, I don't have to get out and beg people to sign up and worry about meeting my goals, because we're going to make enough per 10 clients. I average between 15 and maybe 18 clients a month, new clients. And so even with that relatively low number of new business, we're making enough that we're meeting our goals and keeping everybody happy. And so one of our big selling points is that we offer a high level of service. That's why we're expensive, is it's customized, it's one-on-one with you, and we're going to hold your hand and help you through it. And so with that, we don't want to take on every single client that we bump into and have to degrade our level of service.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get clients who are ideal for you, and everybody's happier that way, and you have people that you enjoy.
Yeah. And after the workshop, we did learn to say no to our not ideal client. I love that part of the workshop, writing out exactly who our ideal client was, because it highlights who isn't a good fit for us. And we have no problem at an evaluation saying, look, this isn't going to work. You're not a good fit for our style. We're not a good fit for you. Here's this guy who's right down the road. Maybe he's a better fit for you. Because taking on those non-ideal clients just ends up being a headache. We end up not liking them. They don't like us. We're trying to hold our commitments, and nobody's happy when we walk away. And it was just a lot of heartache for not enough money.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That's awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. The ideal client thing is huge. What's the word I'm looking for? Like transformative thing for people to learn. It seems like so basic. Like every marketing course talks about having an ideal client, or like an avatar, customer avatar, or something like that. But dog trainers, I think, just so much naturally want to help everybody that they feel bad thinking of the idea that there's some people who are just a better fit and some people who are not. So I think that's awesome that you accepted that and ran with it. I think it makes a big difference to a lot of people.
It does. And being able to be truthful with people and tell them, look, we're not the right person for you, makes them feel like we're not just out there to try and take their money out of their wallet. We're making sure that we service the people who are a good fit for our program. Not everybody's going to be successful in private sessions. If you have a super aggressive dog, we're not going to fix that in 1 hour a week. And so we would rather not take that on and kill ourselves trying to make the results happen when it's just not the right setup.
Right. Yeah, that completely makes sense. That's absolutely amazing. So is there anything else that you wanted to share about what you liked about the workshop, or the results that you've had, or anything that you feel like other trainers should definitely need to know, or anything like that that pops into your head?
I love the whole outline, the whole format. I think it started at like 8:00 that morning. By 8:15, I had an entire page of notes. It's info that should be common sense, but it was blowing my mind. I was like, you mean I forgot to offer to let these people buy this expensive program? I could do that?
You can do that. Yeah.
And so it was huge. And then getting to meet some of the other trainers that were in there, I've kept contact with some of them and getting to bounce stuff off of them. Hey, how did you implement this after the workshop? How did that go with you guys? It's been great, and it built a little bit of a community.
Yeah, that's great. And I actually just talked to another trainer a little earlier today who said the same thing. And I don't think I fully realized the value of you guys being able to talk to each other and get ideas from each other. Because in the workshop, I have a Facebook group where everybody, new students join in and talk to the alumni, and the alumni will jump in with advice. And there's like everybody's old questions and ideas in the old posts. And I think that's huge to a lot of people to be able to have like a community of trainers that's nice and helpful and
Yes.
ready to support each other.
Yeah, when we were building our facility programs, I actually went and stalked a bunch of people that went to the workshop so that I could look at what they were doing for day training and use that to model our facility programs. Because if they were following what you did, they were probably doing it right.
Yeah.
So, it created a really good community. And in the dog training world, it's eat your own. And so it's nice to find people who out there who are going to be nice and willing to share what works and what doesn't work so that we can all benefit. There's enough dogs out there for all of us.
That's true.
Eat your own.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. Anything else you wanted to share?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, awesome. That's perfect. I appreciate your story. Thank you so much for sharing, and looking forward to.
Great. It's literally changed my business and changed my life.
Yeah, that's so great to hear. I'm so happy for you. And again, thank you very much for applying everything you learned so quickly and so well. That's really what makes a big difference. People can hear all kinds of ideas, but you actually used them. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time again, and stay in touch and let me know what happens.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.